Today's video is going to be on making an offer to a for sale by owner, aka a property not listed on the MLS. So the first thing I have done, I have went to web forms. I have already created the kit. We'll go over everything. First thing is first, we're going to do a seller customer service agreement. Again, it's not listed on the MLS, so you want to make sure you get paid. So you're going to sign paperwork for the customer service agreement. We are going to put in two working with the realtors because one is going to be for my buyer, one is going to be for the seller. For the seller, keep in mind we are going to do a customer service, not client. I'm going to have two fin tracks. One for the buyer side, one for the seller side. We're going to have the receipt of funds for the seller or the buyer, and then we're going to have the agreement. So first things first, I'm going to go to the 201. Now I've also pulled up the Geo warehouse so that I have all of the seller's information. And I've pulled up an old listing in the building, the most recent listing, so that I can have the condo fees and everything that's included. So I'll go back to this. So we're just going to copy and paste the name of the seller. So same thing as an offer or listing docs. They're in a deal with the realty firm because you are simply a representative of the realty firm. This is the seller, property known as 45 Pond Mills Road. So I am going to be submitting this offer this morning. So I am going to put as of 9 a.m. on the 5th day, and I will give them until Saturday. Okay? So typically when you are doing a term like this, you're really only doing however long it takes for your buyer to get everything in order. So if you're doing financing or home inspection, you're probably going to want to put a 10-day listing with them, or if it's just giving them 2 days to think about it, whatever it is. So for this, I have told them that it is $6,000 plus HST. And if my buyer goes there and makes an offer without me, even 60 days after I introduce the property, she is still responsible to pay me a commission. The rest of the stuff I'll let you read. Actually, you know what? We'll just do a quick one. So, definitions and interpretations. This is the same as any other contract. Seller will be known as seller. Buyer will be known as buyer instead of using names. Commission, as I said, I'm asking for $6,000 plus HST. You can do 2%, 4%, whatever. I always suggest when you're doing a for sale by owner, you ask for more. Don't ask them for 2%. Start with 3%. They're not paying on the other side. For this particular deal, it's $145,000, and I told them that I need $6,000. So, and they agreed. So make sure that you're getting your fair share. I hate to sound predatory, but they are leaving themselves exposed. Make sure that you're doing what's best for yourself as well as your buyer. Sorry, so representation and customer service. Long story short, this is the same as working with a realtor. You represent your client you are simply providing customer service to them. Now, keep in mind, you have to be ethical, legal, to exercise due care when answering questions, so you can't lie to them, you can't trick them, and you have to be legal, I guess same thing, to avoid misrepresentation. So you do represent the client, but just make sure that you're not saying anything that's not true. Deposit, so the seller and the brokerage agree the deposit will be held in the brokerage, okay? So when you're making the offer, it's going to go to the realty firm trust account. Finder's fee really won't apply. The seller warrants the property is insured. Verification of information, same thing with FinTrack. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when I need to see a copy of your license and I need to do a FinTrack for you. Use and distribution of information. Long story short, the board as well as our office will have the information. Family Law Act, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if you're not both on title and this is a matrimonial home, I will still need the signature of the husband or wife that is not on title. Successors and assigns, God forbid something happens to you, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, this is still a valid contract and it will still be pursued. Conflict or discrepancy, what I always say is you have three options. You can call my broker of record, you can call L-Star, or you can call Rico. All three supersede me and they will figure it out if for some reason we cannot figure it out ourselves. Electronic communication, we're in 2019, so I'm not always going to come face to face. I will send you emails and texts. Electronic signature, I will send I will be sending a lot of this stuff through Authentisign for you to sign versus me and you wasting our time and going to meet back and forth. Sold sign will not apply for this one, but ask if you can put your sold sign on their lawn. More recognition for yourself. This one is for a building, so they don't allow it, but that's it. So pretty straightforward, right? Working with a realtor, just to go over this while we're doing something like this. So for the seller, you are going to get is not representing my interest to be documented in a separate written customer service agreement, but will act in a fair, ethical, and professional manner. So that is what we are going to get them to sign because we are representing our buyer. So we're representing our buyer's interest, not the seller's interest. FinTrack, again, standard. Receipt of funds. We've already done a condo agreement of purchase and sale and confirmation of cooperation. So like I said, because this is not listed, pull up a listing if you can. Now this will only apply to the condos, but pull up a listing that has happened recently. It's June, this is the last sale in February, so not the most recent but still pretty accurate. We look down, we see condo fee is $349, and this is everything that's included in the condo. So I feel confident that that's still accurate, so I can put that in my offer. As well, the Geo Warehouse, so you can find anything that matters to the offer. And that is it for this. Now I'm going to type my offer and get it accepted.